Hello and welcome back to the official podcast of the MLWB Paintin Corners. I'm your host and your commissioner, James Cirillo, here with my co-host and teammate from the Dodgers, Nick Volpe.
Yes.
So, what's going on, Nick? We got a little bit of a mix-up here for our podcasts. The On Deck Sports podcast taking a little break, so we make the Paintin Corners podcast our main pod, and we're going to do this with you and me every week, and we're going to have some guests down the line. We have a little surprise
Do they
for
know
next
yet?
week.
Or do we wait?
We're not going to tell them yet.
Oh, they don't know.
But
They don't know.
we're gonna reveal it. We got a special guest next week and the week after that, and maybe the week after that too. I think we have 3 guests lined up. This week it's just Nick and I. We are gonna go over a lot. We're gonna talk about the WWBC championship game that's just in 2 days. This Saturday, 11 a.m., streaming on TikTok and YouTube. We also have a trade to go over, and we also have our own power rankings to go over, and we're gonna do award predictions. So it's going to be a very action-packed episode. Nick,
Yes,
do you
sir.
want to share your thoughts on the trade? It was the Oscar Donis trade to the Yankees for Julian Molds, 20 for agent points, and cash.
I think that Monge is just clearing house right now. He's just changing everything, which is it's
Yeah.
fine. You got a new management. It's gonna happen. So
Yeah, it's a whole new look for the Yankees. How do you feel about the Yankees now that there's a whole new team, no returning players from the Yankees?
like I said, we'll go to the power rankings, and I'll let you know where I
Yeah,
got him.
we'll get to the power rankings, and we'll see how Nick feels about the Yankees. It might be I don't want to say a tanking year, but a rebuilding, restructuring year for the Yankees.
They're in a Flyers situation.
Yeah, it's like I don't think they're not awful. I'm not. Oh yeah, let's go. I'm not, by any means knocking the Yankees. I think they're going to be a tough matchup. We play them week 6, but Monge has some, has a good future in the league. Zach Porcella, stud. Oscar had a better year last year. He's a pretty good player. And then we get Teo, who's also a rookie, undrafted rookie. He was signed in free agency by the Yankees. He has connections with Dylan Monge from Team Puerto Rico from the WWBC. It's going to be an interesting team to watch. I think a lot of people doubted Team Puerto Rico. Not really doubted them, just didn't really know what to expect because we hadn't seen a lot of them.
Not any footage at all. Not enough.
I think it could be similar with the Yankees where we don't know too much about them. So we're just going to assume they're not going to be that good, but we could see some impressive
That's
stuff.
why it's a guess. We'll see when it happens.
Right. Like our power rankings, we're not trying to offend any teams. Somebody has to be 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th. Somebody's got to be first. We're just putting teams how we feel about them right now. This could change in a week or even before the season starts.
Crazy trades going on. We don't even know.
We've been getting crazy trades. So yeah, who do you think wins that Yankees Phillies trade?
Yankees. I mean, there was cash involved, right?
Cash, 20 points, and Molds for Oscar.
Cash, 20 points, and Molds for Oscar. I think the Yankees, or no, the Phillies win that trade because they get Molds the 20 points and Oscar, right?
They get 20 points, cash, and Molds for Oscar. Oscar goes to the Yankees.
I think the Phillies win that trade.
Yeah. I mean, I think both Oscar and Molds are pretty evenly balanced players. I think they're both pretty good players.
That's why I'm saying you get very evenly matched players, but then one side gets free agent points and money. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see. But we got the WWBC championship this weekend. Nick, how you feeling going in the championship game?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough matchup against Germany. They're a good team. They're red hot, coming off 2 wins. Unfortunately, this past Sunday, the semifinals game was forfeited by Puerto Rico, which is why Germany is in the championship. Not trying to take any credit away from Germany. They're a great team, but it sucks. As the person who runs the league, you never want to see someone forfeit. You never want to see anyone drop out of a game, anything like that. They had to forfeit the game due to unavailability. They are a bit younger on Team Puerto Rico, so they're not getting to games as easily as us, and they're from further away, so they weren't available. They had to forfeit, and Germany is now in the championship. So, proud of Team Puerto Rico for getting that far. They went 3-3 in the tournament. I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect because they hadn't seen any of those guys play yet. There was a little bit of drama on that team. Javier Cruz getting traded. Monge traded Javier Cruz. Then they forfeited the Puerto Rico game.
It's gonna be an interesting year.
It is going to be a very interesting year. I'm excited for Royals Yankees. Javier Cruz is now a Royal. It's going to be a very fun and entertaining season. And the WWBC championship, no Ryan Moser, no Logan Pozzer, no Nate Bigger, and no Zach Kinsel for Germany, and no Vincent Graziano for Team Italy. So it's just Tyler Wagner and Uncle Tom for Germany. And for Italy, it's myself, James Turillo, Nick Volpe, Frank Turillo, Paul Sincata, and of course, Jack Ivins. So 5-on-2, but we will get 2 fielders. They're only going to have 1 fielder, I just realized.
Do we get 2 fielders or no? We're going to have to get 1, right?
I think we normally get 2, but we could agree to just do 1.
I think we have to do 1.
Yeah, to, even things out. But so it'll be a 2-on-2, but we'll have 5 guys in our lineup. It'll be a fun matchup. It's just 1 game. It's not a series. Winner takes all, 1 5-inning game. The trophy will be there at Advocare Park. It's going to be exciting because, I kind of planned this tournament last second in like January, right? And I was hoping that it would go well. I'm just trying to, find something to do, find something to entertain people in the offseason, because this is the longest offseason in league history. We ended late July. We start early May. So it was a 10-month offseason.
Wow.
Or 9.5-month offseason. That's a long, long offseason. So we needed something in between. I tried to do the Fall Classic in the fall. Didn't necessarily work out with availability with everyone. So I said, you know what? We'll continue the Fall Classic in the spring. And then I had the idea, scrap the Fall Classic, replace it with the World Wiffle Ball Classic.
Fall Classic's done.
Fall Classic is done. We just have the World Wiffle Ball Classic now. I'm not sure.
Will that come back later on? Is that what you're about to say? Like the Fall Classic, will that be?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not 100% sure. But, these are just thoughts. So, I know I don't want anyone jumping to conclusions, but there's been thoughts about, having multiple seasons in a year again, which I don't think that'd be possible because you have so many guys leaving to go away for college, and then we'd have like half the amount of players in the fall season. And it would be weird. Like, let's say, for example, team captain of the Pirates, Brady McCabe, he goes away to school. He'd play in the summer, wouldn't play in the fall, and then so he'd be playing every other season, which really wouldn't make sense, especially because he's a captain.
Yeah.
And it would just be weird. It's like, oh, he's been in the league for, down the line, we could say he's been in the league for 10 years, but he's only played,
5. Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's only played half the seasons because, he wasn't here for half of them. So it really wouldn't make sense. So I figured a tournament would be nice because if people miss the tournament, it's not like they're missing real games, but these games also do mean something. Yeah. And these players, we're trying to win just like it's a regular game.
There's a Hall of Fame now.
There's a Hall of Fame. There's a lot of stuff going on in the league right now.
Build up. And I think another good thing about only doing 1 season is that the championships have more weight. You know what I'm saying? If there's going to be less titles, it's going to be more impressive if you win more.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited. We're coming off back-to-back championships. You just won your first World Series. It's we got Logan now. We're trying to go back-to-back for the second time in franchise history. Hopefully we can get it done. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of great teams, which we'll get to in our power rankings now. If you want to start that, you want to get into the power rankings?
Sure.
Do you want to do it? You list all 8, or I list all 8, or just 1 and 1?
I think 1-1.
Okay, so you want to list your number 8 first?
You want to do 8 first? Or you want to do 1 from 1?
We should probably go from 8 first.
Okay.
So our first is revealed like last. All
right. You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Give me your number 8.
So for my number 8, I have the New York Yankees.
Okay.
I think they cleared house this year.
They did.
They have a future, though. They got a good future.
They do.
What I'm mainly worried about this team is now Zach doesn't pitch, right?
He used to.
He used to pitch.
Hasn't pitched in like 2 years.
That's my main issue with this team, the lack of pitching.
The pitching, yeah. We've seen Monge in the World Wiffle Ball Classic. Hasn't had great starts.
He'll get better.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind he's very young and he'll be fine.
It's the thing is about I can't guess they're going to be a top 5 team when there's top 5 teams with pitchers that are already established. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So they have 3 first-round picks next year?
Yeah, they have 3 first-round picks.
They won't be 8 next year. That's what I'm going to say. They won't be 8 next year.
They won't be. They definitely won't be. In my number 8, I also have the Yankees. I think this is going to be like kind of a rebuilding year for them, and that's not a bad thing. I think I'm not saying they have a bad team. It's just they have a team that's going to be good in the future. Monge is very young. Teo is very young. They have 3 draft picks next year, like we said. They have their pick, the Royals pick, and the Astros pick. They are going to be very successful in the future. I think they just have to wait a few seasons until that happens.
We'll see.
If Monge sticks it out as team captain of the Yankees and he's still team captain in 2-3 years, the Yankees are going to be very successful and they're going to be back soon. So It was a rough season for them last year. Will it be a rough season for them this year? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think they're bad. It's more of like a
They're just
rebuilding.
worse than the other teams that we have here.
It's a rebuilding year for the Yankees. And if they don't win too many games and they come in last and they are the 8th team in the league, they get the first pick, that's okay because they have 3 picks.
Yeah.
And they also need the Astros and Royals to not do well because they have their picks. Mm-hmm. So
it's also, I mean, it's even like there's 12 games, right?
12 games.
12 games. I'd say hypothetically they go 0-12, which I don't think will happen.
Right.
You can go 0-12 and not be a bad team if you're losing games by like a run or two. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll see by that. We'll see at a certain point in the year. It's like sometimes you just can't get the job done. But if you're staying in games, you're just gonna get better down the line. So that's why I have the Yankees at 8.
Yeah, I also have the Yankees at 8. We'll get to before we get to number 7. I just want to say I don't think I know I say this every single year, and I feel like I say it every time we get power rankings for the year. There's no bad teams. Like, even though the Yankees didn't win a game last year, going into the year, I didn't think they'd win the World Series, but I didn't think they wouldn't win a game. Like, I go in every year looking at these teams. I'm like, okay, like, this team could beat this team, but then that team could beat this team, but that team could beat that team. Like, I feel like everyone could beat everyone or at least close to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very competitive teams. There's a lot of stacked teams now. And the World Series, I think a lot of people think, there's certain teams that there's a World Series matchup that's already locked in. There's not. There's a lot of good teams. So, Nick, who do you have at number 7?
So, at number 7, I have the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
Number 7.
You want to give your explanation?
I mean, it's the smallest roster in the league, so you have a problem with depth there. So you have to account that everyone's going to make every game, which probably won't happen. You know what I'm saying? At this point, Castano's a solid pitcher. It's just honestly, I'm looking at there's like no depth on that team. Not like that. There's not talent on the team. It's just not like I'm saying, availability is going to be a problem.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my main issue with the Brewers there.
Yeah.
That's all I got really about the Brewers.
Yeah. They have a good roster, but right now they only have 3 guys. They have to sign a 4th before the season starts, or at least trade for a 4th, something, because you need to have 4 guys on your roster by opening day. So we'll see who their 4th is. We don't know yet, so I think it's fair to put them low just because we don't know their full roster.
They can make a trade and they could go down like 4. You know what I'm saying? They have a solid roster already. It's just they need someone else.
Right.
That's yeah.
Right. At my 7, I have the Philadelphia Phillies. I think, Tyler's a great player. He's been a great captain over the years. He brings back the Phillies this offseason, takes over the Nationals, rebrands them to the Phillies, trades Cody, trades Zach Porcella. He drafts Uncle Tom, drafts Corey, then trades Corey. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Phillies. Their roster right now is Tyler Wagner, Uncle Tom, Dave Koch, and Julian Moulds. So I don't think they really have any holes in their lineup, but Tyler last year was very good on the mound, and I could see his pitching keeping them in games. I just think they need one more star player or, big bat in their lineup to get them into a playoff spot, which we play in week 2. I don't think they're going to be bad. I think, they could beat us for sure.
Yeah.
But right now I have them at 7 because I think they need to make another move or two if they want to be contenders. Because Tyler Wagner said early in the offseason, I asked him, what is your goal for 2025? Like, are you just trying to make the playoffs? Is this a rebuilding year? He said, no, we're trying to win the whole effing thing. So if they're trying to win the whole thing, I think they need to make another move or two. So that's why right now I have them.
Which is honestly this is weird. It's like there's more likely for a trade to happen than not with all the trades we've seen so far.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's been 5 trades in the last 2 weeks. So
don't buy your jerseys yet.
Yeah.
Someone's moving.
Yeah.
It could be me. I don't know.
No, you're not getting traded.
All right, good.
You've already been traded like 6 times.
I got PTSD, man.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Who do you have at number 6, Nick?
I have the Phillies at number 6. So
okay.
You kind of said everything. Tyler's pitching's great. It's just, I guess they need to make one more move because they have another roster spot.
Right.
I just don't know what's their pick situation for trade value.
So they have 1 pick for next year. They have their own pick. So it all depends on it would depend on how well they do this year. According to my power rankings, let's say these power rankings aren't, we're not saying these are going to be the final standings at the end of the year. It's going into the year ranked how good we think they are going into opening day as of this very second.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily saying the Yankees, Phillies, or Brewers are going to be, the worst teams in the league.
After this video uploads, someone can make a trade, and then the whole list could be wrong.
Exactly. So
yeah, I have the Phillies at 6.
All right. At number 6, I have the Brewers. So we have our 6 and 7 swapped. You pretty much covered everything with the Brewers. They don't have too much depth because they only have a 3-man roster. They have to sign a 4th guy. And for me, it's hard to put them that high when you don't know what their full roster is yet. They could get a 4th guy. They could trade for a great player, and they could be World Series contenders. Or they could get a 4th guy who we're not too familiar with and doesn't make them too much better. So they're also in a very stacked division. So I don't think any teams in the National League or in the American League either, but in this case, the National League, I don't think there's any teams that stick out to me like, oh yeah, they're the 4th best team in the National League. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's no team that sticks out to me like that. Like I know I have the Phillies as the lowest ranked National League team. I don't necessarily think they're the worst.
No.
If that makes any sense.
Yep.
So who do you have at number 5, Mr.
Number
Volpe?
5? All right, so this might be a shock, but number 5, I have the Houston Astros.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The reigning AL champs in the bottom half of the power rankings.
I'm looking at all the rosters right now, and I don't know. I feel like looking at every other team, not that the Astros got worse, they got better. It's just every other team got more better than they did. If you know what I'm saying.
So, do you think the Astros make the playoffs this year?
It's possible. I'm just trying to I'm seeing where I ranked everybody else. You said it's the first 2 teams in each division make it?
Yeah. So do they finish top 2? Because
in my rankings, no. Would I be surprised if they did? No. I wouldn't be surprised if they made the playoffs. I'm just, as of right now, I don't think so.
Wow. Okay. I feel like your point's valid saying every other team just got a lot better as well, and the Astros got better. Just all the other teams did as well.
Did more, I feel like.
Right.
But there's still time, you know?
But if Ryan Moser can replicate the season he had last year, they're a lock for the playoffs.
We'll see.
Ryan Moser was phenomenal last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had another year like that again. Led the league in home runs, led the AL in RBIs, won AL MVP, AL Cy Young, and Silver Slugger. One of the best seasons we've ever seen from a player in the league. So, at number 5 for me, I have the Kansas City Royals. Royals have had a good offseason. They just got Javier Cruz last week, who was the first overall pick. I just think this division is too stacked. I was just talking very highly about the Astros. We'll get to the other team that's remaining in a little bit, but the Royals are a good team.
Yep.
I hate to put them at 5 because on paper they might be the 5th best team, but they are a very, very good team. Zach Kinsel has gotten better in the last year or two. Dylan Wagner's, a star player in this league. I'm extremely high on Javier Cruz. He's very young. He's going to be great. It's going to be interesting to see who starts on the mound for that team. And they also have Lucas Stewart, who I think is going to be a very underrated player, and I think he's one of the top candidates for Rookie of the Year. Calling that right now. But that's a very good team. They can beat any team in the league. The only team they don't play this year is us. So they can, and not saying they can't beat us, but every team they play, they can beat.
Yeah.
They could
100%.
They could win 10 games this year, and I wouldn't be that surprised. They're going to be a very good team. I just think there's teams that, as of right now, on paper, might be a little better. But it's going to be very interesting to see who pitches for that team. Because Dylan Wagner's the captain. I'm assuming he would start on the mound, but they also have Javier Cruz now.
I got a feeling they got a split at this point. They might split.
Yeah. That's a great rotation. And, most of the time you'll see one pitcher just throw the whole series.
And you'll learn eventually, second game.
Right.
So, if you have these 2 guys, the question is, why wouldn't you rotate them?
Right. I think if it's a shame one of them's not a lefty and one's a righty, because you could kind of use that to your advantage. Like if there's a lefty hitter, let's say Javi was left-handed, you bring him in, but they're both right-handed pitchers.
And
so
they could both pitch each game, right? Because there's no...
Yeah, they could split the doubleheader every week, honestly, if they wanted to.
Like I'm saying, Javi could start the first game, and then let's just say second game Dylan starts and he has a bad inning, and then Javi can come back in anyway, or vice versa. So, yeah. So either way, you're getting both of them.
I just hope we see a good amount of Javi on the mound, because I'm surprised the Royals gave up so much to get Javi since Javi's a pitcher, and it's not like the Royals needed pitching. But now they have stacked pitching, probably the best rotation in the league, and it's going to be very curious. I'm very curious to see how they manage that. I actually want to, after this is over, I kind of want to get a word from Dylan Wagner on the situation, like who's going to be the starting pitcher, because I like to compare the starting pitchers in our league to like a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's not like we really have a rotation. You just have one starting pitcher and he's your pitcher for all the games.
Who would you compare Dylan to then?
Like as a quarterback?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
And then Javi, very young QB, very young pitcher, rookie. I think he's going to be a star in this league.
Jaden Daniels.
Do we compare him to Jaden Daniels? Is that like...
You said young star.
That's fair. Is it like having Justin Herbert and Jaden Daniels on the same team? Because in that case, who would you start?
Shit, it might be. I mean, the way you're asking it is, like, it's different. Like, if in terms of football, I love Jaden Daniels. Big Jaden Daniels. I would start Jaden Daniels. But, I mean, it's not an easy decision.
No, it's not.
That's why I kind of see why you ask it like that.
What I would do week 1, I would start Dylan Wagner game 1. And unless he throws like a no-hitter or throws like a crazy
throw
game,
Javi in game 2.
Throw Javi game 2. And even if you want to give Javi a short leash, like he gives up a run, you take him out, that kind of thing, just see what he's got. And if he pitches great, you know you have 2 pitchers. Because if you use one of the pitchers both games, and you don't see any of the other ones, we know Dylan Wagner's a great pitcher. I believe Javi's a great pitcher, but we haven't seen him in a regular season game yet. You need to see him before we get to playoffs or anything to make sure that you have 2 pitchers, and I believe you do. I think Javi's going to be great. So who do you have at number 4?
We're down to 4. I have the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay.
At number 4.
Okay.
So you'll see in my rankings where this will lead them to the playoffs, but they have their pitcher. They got Ivins.
They do have their pitcher for sure.
100%.
He's the man.
They got a good rotation. I feel like that's all I got to say. They got a good rotation, and they got their pitcher. Then what else you got?
Yeah. At my number 4, I also have the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I think being 4th in the power rankings is their floor. They shouldn't be any lower, but they could be higher. Like this is a team that if I had to pick a team that was going to dethrone the Dodgers in 2025, I would pick the Pittsburgh Pirates. Because they give us a hard time every year in the playoffs. They give us a hard time in the regular season every year. We normally beat them, I know, but eventually the Pirates are going to defeat the Dodgers eventually, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the team to do it.
It's a great team.
This is a really good team.
We've scrimmaged with them all the time.
We've worked with Jack Ivins on Team Italy. Him and I have split the games pitching, and he has been phenomenal. ERA of .33 in 3 games pitched.
Is that the low? Oh, no, it's Zach still has the lowest, right?
Technically,
Zach, right?
Zach has the lowest, but he only pitched 1 game, and I have a .25. So our pitching's been great for Italy, and the reason we're in the championship game is pretty much just because of Jack Ivins' pitching. He has been outstanding on the mound, and he's going to be great for the Pirates. He's going to be a Cy Young candidate, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Pirates won the whole thing this year. I truly believe they're a World Series contender.
I don't have him as Cy Young, but I when we go back to awards, I got another one for him.
Okay. I like that. We'll wait and see. So I'm very high on the Pirates. They have a great lineup. Can't say enough good things about Pittsburgh. I think this is going to be their best year as a franchise yet. Who do you have at number 3?
Number 3, you already said him. I have the Royals at 3.
Okay.
High on the Royals.
Okay. I like that.
Well, Zach's getting better. You know what? He could be another. This is early. He could be another most improved candidate.
Yeah.
Zach's getting better.
Yeah.
You got Dylan. You know you can already swing the bat. Great pitcher as well. Javi's gonna be a great pitcher. Lucas, like you said, gonna be underrated.
Yeah.
No one's ready, but he's gonna be good.
I think the Royals are the most underrated team going into this year. Everyone knows there's going to be some good teams. The Royals missed the playoffs last year and they were 500, but they had a very good offseason. They got better, and they're going to be above 500. They very well could be a playoff team. They could very well beat the Royals, Astros, or Yankees to go to the World Series.
100%.
This could be a World Series team. So I don't mind having them at number 3 whatsoever. So any other thoughts on the Royals before I get to my number 3?
I think number 3 is the right spot for him. That's all I got.
At my number 3, I have the reigning American League champions, the Houston Astros. I think you have them too low. That's just my opinion. I think you have them too low. You got to keep in mind, there's only been 2 franchises to ever go undefeated. The Marlins in season 1, and then we have gone undefeated in the regular season a few times. The Astros were a win away from going undefeated last year, and they got better.
Yeah.
They were 7-1. They were 7-0, lost their last game after clinching the division, which I don't want to say they weren't trying, but the game didn't mean anything for them. So it wasn't like, a bad loss. They were 7-0 in games that meant something. They beat the Rays in the ALCS without Ryan Moser, and then they take a game from us in the World Series, and they gave us a series.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very good team, and they got better. I would be very, very, very surprised
They didn't make
if
the
the
playoffs.
Astros didn't make the playoffs. I'd be very surprised if they didn't make it far.
I'm in that spot with you. It's like this couldn't be possible. Where it's like I'd be surprised if they didn't make the playoffs. But I'm trying to word it properly. I'd be surprised if they didn't make it.
It's hard because you want to say the Astros
But
are a playoff team.
I have two other AL teams above them.
The Rays, Astros, Royals, and Yankees, out of those 4 teams, 2 of them are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
We know the Yankees are kind of in a rebuilding year, so it's okay if they don't make the playoffs, but I'd like to see them have a successful season. But then those other 3 teams, one of them is going to miss the playoffs. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that folds out because they're all really good teams.
They're all World Series teams, and one of them won't even make the postseason.
Yeah, exactly. They're World Series contenders. One won't make the playoffs. So kind of crazy to think about that.
I don't know. Like, it's not that they didn't, like I just said, they didn't get better. It's not that they didn't get better. They got better. I feel like every other team had a bigger overhaul. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I don't know. But they got to play the game, so it doesn't even matter. Yeah. It's just a dumb guess.
Yeah, I think the Astros, the lowest you can put them is 3. I think that's my opinion.
That's fair enough.
I think that because their star player and star pitcher Ryan Moser is going to be one of the best players in this league's history.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah,
1,000%. He's already got an MVP. He's already got a Cy Young, a Silver Slugger. He's brought the Astros to the World Series. The Astros had never had a winning record, and then they get him, and they almost go undefeated, and they almost win the whole thing. And they're only going to get better. So the Astros are going to be one of the teams to beat in 2025. That is for certain.
Agree.
Who do you have at number 2?
Number 2? Got the Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay.
I mean, how could you? I mean, I feel like they're easily top 3.
They're easily top 2, in my opinion. I mean, you could put the Astros in front of them.
You know what I'm saying?
So they're easily top 3. I agree with that.
They got their pitcher. They got Yeager pitching. They got Cole pitching if they need him to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know much about Wassel, but you said good things about him, so
I've never seen him play.
Oh, you never seen him play?
But
heard, right?
I can't imagine him not being a solid player.
If some team goes after him, there's clearly something good about him.
Yeah.
You got Cody. You know Cody's great.
Yeah.
What's we're looking at, Rays?
Cody's won most improved 2 years in a row.
I
wouldn't be surprised if he won it 3 years in a row.
We got Eric. I'm just naming players, but I feel that's all you got to do for this team.
That's really all you have to do. Eric's an all-time great. Yeager's an all-time great. Cole's a very good player. Cody's a very good player. And I think Corey's going to be a very good player.
Yeah, all 5 of them are very solid. So
this is just another team with no holes in their lineup.
No. Most importantly, they got a pitcher. That's the most important.
They have more than one pitcher, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's most importantly, you need the pitcher. And they got the pitcher.
Once in a while, Yeager will have like a rough start and he'll need someone to come in.
And
he has 2 options now. Eric Scully
that's right.
or
Eric
Cole
pitches,
Pugala.
right.
Eric can pitch too.
That's right.
Cole's probably might be the third option on their team for pitching, and he's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
He had in his last full season league, he had a 1.67 ERA for the Pirates in 2023. It's a great ERA.
It's phenomenal.
And he's probably their third option. That's just a guess because Yeager's their starter. I believe Eric as the captain would be the backup, and then Cole would be their third option. But that could
we'll
be
see when
around. We'll see.
That's crazy depth.
At my 2, I also have the Rays. I think we pretty much covered everything. They're going to be a great team. This is one of the better rosters we've seen in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
They won the World Series in 2022, and this roster is better than the roster they had then. That roster was just Eric and Yeager. Now they have Eric, Yeager, Cole, Cody, and Corey. So they got better. They're the only team to beat the Dodgers in the World Series. They got better from then. Wouldn't be surprised if the Rays win the whole thing at the end of July this year. Just saying.
We'll see.
And at your number 1, Nick?
We have us, the Dodgers.
Yes, we both have at number 1, we have the Dodgers. I don't mean to sound arrogant putting us at number 1, and I don't want to make it seem like we're full of ourselves, but how could you not put yourself at number 1? I feel like
you got to believe in yourself.
What kind of captain am I if I'm like, yeah, I see the Dodgers at 5 this year, I think we have a great team.
Frank, Logan, boom.
Logan's a great player.
Great additions.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Frank's a stud.
You're a stud.
Oh.
Dylan's a stud. I mean, we got a great team. No holes in our lineup. We're one of those teams with no holes. I really, really feel confident about this year. I'm very confident in the lineup that backs up my pitching, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to play with Logan and my dad, the new guys, and I'm excited to run it back with you and Dylan.
We're not gonna. would assume we're not going to need a rotation at all. But Logan can pitch.
Logan can pitch as well.
Can pitch.
You know, anything happens to me,
we have that.
we got Logan.
Tommy, if you got Tommy John,
and my dad can pitch too.
I haven't seen Frank pitch, but I believe it.
Yeah, and he's a lefty. So we can go with the lefty righty.
Great rotation.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Boom.
So those are our power rankings. Once again, to recap mine, 8 Yankees, 7 Phillies, 6 Brewers, 5 Royals, 4 Pirates, 3 Astros, 2 Rays, and 1, the reigning champs, the Dodgers. Your 8?
So 8 down. We got Yankees. Then we go Brewers, Philadelphia, Houston, the Pirates, 3 of the Royals, 2 for the Rays, and 1 for the Dodgers.
So we both have the same top 2. So we had similar rankings.
Yeah,
we had like a few mixed up. You had the Royals higher than I did. I had the Astros higher than I did. We had the Pirates in the same spot.
Which honestly, Royals, like what you said. You said Royals Astros, right? That's what you just said. We had them flipped up, right?
Yeah.
You could flip. I could put the Royals at 5, and I could put the Astros at 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you had the Phillies at 6 and the Brewers at 7. I had them flipped.
Yeah.
Which you could flip those as well.
100%.
I don't think there's a bad team in the league. I think all 8 teams got a good shot to win the whole thing. So, we'll get to award predictions now.
Yeah, let's do it.
There are, how many awards are there? There's 9 awards. There's 2 MVPs, 2 Cy Youngs, Rookie of the Year, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, and Most Improved. We'll start out with Most Improved.
All right, so
you can go first.
I'm going to go for my runner-ups first, and then I'm going to go with my actual pick.
Oh, okay. You have runner-ups?
2 runner-ups.
Okay.
I believe
okay.
I believe Zach and Cody are going to be the runners-up for this year.
Okay.
I feel like besides the winner, those are going to be the 2. Okay. That would be in that conversation.
Yeah.
And my award winner this year will be Jack Ivins.
I like that a lot. I really like that.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
You could do it. He's gonna get better at the bats anyway, and now he's pitching, so that just helps. That's about it.
Yeah. He wasn't a pitcher last year.
No.
He had 1 home run in 6 games for the Marlins. Not saying he had a bad year, but we know Jack is a very good player. We didn't see a lot of it last year. We're going to see a lot of it this year.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised at all if Jack Ivins won Most Improved. For my Most Improved Player of the Year, my runner-up is Jack Ivins. My winner is you.
I'd switch that, man. I don't know what you're doing there. I'd switch it.
I voted for you last year. No disrespect to Cody. I'm not saying Cody didn't deserve it, but I think it could have gone to either Cody or you.
I think Cody deserved it. 100%.
But Cody said it should have been you. You say it should have been Cody. So I
love my ex-teammate. I don't know.
Yeah, ex-teammate. I think it could have gone either way. I have you taking it this year.
Thank you.
Most Improved Player.
I would say Jack's going to take it, but I appreciate that.
Of course. Silver Slugger. The reigning Silver Slugger is Ryan Moser. Who do you have winning it this year?
Silver Slugger is just for 1. It's just 1. There's not for each side, right?
Yeah, just 1.
Let's look at these rosters again. I have my answer, but I mean, how could you not say Dylan?
Okay.
How could you not say Dylan?
Lawyer. I'm assuming there's like 8 Dylans in the league.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the Dylans could win it. But
yeah, they honestly could. All 4 Dylans could probably win it, but Lawyers would be the favorite out of the 4.
There's 4. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's 4 Dylans now. It's crazy. So,
Lawyer.
Do you have a runner-up? You don't have to.
It could be the other Dylan. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be Ryan. Trying to see who else could do it. Like I said, it could be Ryan. Could be the other 3 Dylans.
Yeah.
That one's a harder one for runner-up. I don't know.
Okay. You don't have to have a runner-up. I just thought you had one for every award because you had one for Most
I'd say for runner-up, Wagner had a lot. Dylan had a lot last year.
Yeah.
I gotta go Dylan.
Okay.
Both Dylans.
Okay. For my Silver Slugger, my runner-up is Ryan Moser. And my winner, Vincent Graziano.
I could see that 100%.
Vincent had a very good year at the plate in his rookie year. He's only going to get better. I could see him and his bat.
You know what?
Matched up.
That's another person I left out for could be in the Most Improved conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
That could be in not saying he's like the 4th best of them, but like in the 4 of him. You know what I'm saying? Like he could be one of the 4. I 100% see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Vinny's going to be great. I think he's going to be an MVP candidate. I think that he could honestly help lead the Pirates. His hitting matched with Jack's pitching and the rest of that lineup,
Oh yeah.
with their producing their talent as well, could lead them to a World Series championship in 2025. 100%. I truly believe that. So,
how could you not say it?
Yeah.
How could you not? What are we at now?
Gold Glove.
Gold Glove. Let's see. So we've seen them both in the field, or we haven't seen. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I feel like you could just do. A lot of candidates.
There are.
I'm gonna go with 2 Pirates here in my top 2.
Ooh.
I think Martini's gonna win it,
Wow.
and I think Graziano is gonna be the runner-up.
Wow.
I say Martini because he played catcher, and honestly, getting low on a wiffle ball, it's tough to field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got good hands. I think I can see Vinny winning it.
I like that. I like that pick a lot.
I can see Vinny winning it.
For my Gold Glove, my runner-up, Dylan Lawyer from the Dodgers, and the winner, Cody Pearson from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, how could you not?
Yeah. Cody, I still am very confident with our fielders with Logan and Dylan. Cody and Dylan, I was also very confident with their fielders. I think Cody's one of the best fielders in the league.
Yeah.
Yeager pitching with Cody and Eric in the field is going to terrorize
I was
the
thinking
league.
saying Yeager too. Or not, sorry.
Eric. Eric's won it before. Yeah. Eric, Lawyer, Cody, the 2 guys you mentioned from the Pirates could all win the award this year. I could absolutely see that. So
100%.
My pick for that's Cody Pearson. Rookie of the year.
I feel like it's got to be Javi.
Okay. I like that.
I mean, that's probably the basic one, but I feel like it's you gotta go for it.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're gonna say somebody else.
I'm gonna say somebody else. For my rookie of the year, Javi will be the runner-up, and the winner, I believe, is going to be Frank Torillo. I say that, and I pick him over Javi only because Javi will not get the chance to show off his pitching as much as he would if he were still in the Yankees.
That's fair enough.
If you were on the Yankees, I might pick Javi. Now that he's going to have to split pitching and probably get less than half of the games pitching for the Royals.
That's true. That's very true.
He's still going to be great. He's still going to be a Rookie of the Year candidate. He's going to help the Royals a lot. But give me Frank Torillo. I think my dad has been good in the tournament. He hasn't been the best of his ability. And I think
he's just warming up. I
think he's just warming up. You got to keep in mind, my dad's the oldest player in the league. Sorry, Dad. But he's going to take a bit to get back in the swing of wiffle ball. When was the last time my dad played in a wiffle ball league?
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
It's a rhetorical question.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying,
you're asking yourself.
Yeah, a long time ago,
right?
At me.
I
don't know. But it's been a minute. So he's going to get back in the swing of things. He's going to be a great player. Frank's going to win Rookie of the Year for the Dodgers.
I would love to see it.
Yeah. AL Cy Young.
AL Cy Young. Mr. Ryan Moser.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I have the same pick for AL Cy Young, Ryan Moser. I think we can agree that it's going to be the finalists are probably going to be him, Yeager, and whatever pitcher the Royals use more.
Wagner or Javi. Yep.
Yeah. I think those are going to be the 3 finalists. What else can we say about Ryan? He won it last year. He had an ERA of .46. I mean, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So Ryan for Cy Young is our pick. NL Cy Young.
Me? It's going to be you.
Let's go.
If I had to do a runner-up for NL Cy Young, maybe Tyler. Tyler's going to pitch so much better than he did in the first game of the series.
Yeah.
Because we already know he can pitch. It's not like we don't know. We know he can pitch.
Oh, yeah.
But I got my runner-up being Jack.
Yeah. For my NL Cy Young, I have Jack Ivins winning it. I really think Jack's going to be a good pitcher. He's going to be a Cy Young candidate at least. At least he'll be runner-up, like you said. Yeah. I have Jack Ivins winning NL Cy Young. I'm so high on the Pirates, and I'm so high on Jack. I'm high on Vinny. Jack Ivins for Cy Young in 2025. So
enough, yeah.
I've won it 6 years in a row. If there's anyone that's going to snap my streak, it's going to be Jack.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at the rest.
And I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Philly.
Jack's a great player. Teammates on Team Italy. I would not have a problem with Jack winning Cy Young.
No.
I really wouldn't.
Not at all.
AL MVP.
Let's see what we got here.
Reigning AL MVP is Ryan Moser.
So let me see here.
Before him, it was Eric Scully. 3 years in a row.
All right, so I'm gonna have Ryan as my winner.
Okay.
For runner-ups, I want to put Wagner. I want to put Dylan Wagner.
Okay.
But like you said earlier, with splitting the pitches, it might be hard. Might be harder for him. If he doesn't split pitches, then I feel like he's definitely at least in the top 3.
Okay.
And if I had to go for a finalist, not knowing all that, I go Dylan Yeager.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Pitchers need to win MVP more often.
They do.
You know, doesn't happen in baseball a lot.
He can swing the bats.
Ryan won AL MVP as a pitcher last year, but it was also because he led the league in home runs.
Yeah.
So, I could see it. For my AL MVP, I have Ryan Moser. And my runner-up, I'll go Eric Scully.
I mean,
4-time
how could you not
AL MVP. You know he's going to be in the mix for MVP. You know he's going to be in the mix for the home run leaders like he is every single year. Mm-hmm. He's going to lead the Rays to at least a playoff spot like he does every year. Eric's great. I have him runner-up right behind Ryan Moser. NL MVP, the final award.
It's a tough one. A lot of good players in the NL.
There are. Reigning NL MVP is Dylan Lawyer from the Dodgers. He beat me by 1 vote, and I voted for him. So
there you go. Let's see. I'm just thinking here. I mean, it definitely could either be you or Lawyer. It could be Logan too.
Yeah,
it could be Logan. I don't know what it is. I feel like you and Dylan are the obvious ones. But if I had to go for a dark horse MVP, I'm going to do dark horse MVP.
Okay, I like it.
I'm going Jack Ivins.
Wow, I like it.
Because if he's like I said, if he's going to win Most Improved Player, and I feel like he's going to improve.
And I have him winning Cy Young.
So
if he's capable of winning Cy Young and Most Improved,
I feel like that definitely puts it. Because you do the survey all at once, so it's not like
Yeah.
But like if you're looking at it like just from the eye, if you see Most Improved and Cy Young, it's kind of hard to not do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would go Jack Ivins. And then runner-ups would be either you, Dylan, and if I pick one more. It's tough.
There's 3 finalists, so you
There's
named
3
3.
finalists?
So yeah.
Oh, 3 finalists. Okay,
You can name another if you want, but
it's just like I do like Tyler Graziano. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of great players in the National League that could win MVP. For mine, I have runner-up being Jack Ivins, and winning it for the 2nd year in a row, I have Dylan Lawyer. Dylan's proved himself to be at least a top 3 player in this league. I wouldn't be surprised if he won it again. He had a great year last year. I think he's only going to have a better year.
If you win it once, you can do it again.
I think both MVPs repeat, Ryan Moser and Dylan Lawyer as AL and NL MVP.
It'll be very fun.
Any last thoughts, Nick, before we wrap this up?
We got all the awards. Got all the power rankings. Anything else that we missed?
Watch the WWBC Championship, 11 a.m. on Saturday on TikTok and YouTube. Right here on YouTube, you can watch it, and you can watch it on TikTok as well. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Next week, should we reveal the guest?
I don't know.
Should we? Or should we wait to post it? Or should we reveal it now?
It's up to you. It's up to you, Commish. You want to flip a coin? We'll say heads reveal, tails don't.
Sure.
Flip a coin. It's heads.
So we're revealing it?
Revealing.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I was not ready for that. All right. The first ever guest on the Paintin Corners podcast next week will be the first ever MLWB Hall of Famer, John Benacy.
Clap it up.
So John will join the pod Wednesday, April 9th?
What time are we doing Wednesday?
3. So the pod will probably go up 5 on Wednesday. And John Bond will join us on the pod. We'll be asking him some questions about his career.
If it's a little too early to ask, you got anything in mind? Do you want to talk about
We're going to ask him about his career. We're going to ask him about the Hall of Fame. We're going to ask him how he feels about this upcoming season now that he can watch it as a retired player. So it's going to be a great episode. Make sure you guys tune in, and we will see you guys next week.
See you.